What is up, guys? It's the Sound Alchemist, part of One Mind Syndicate, and today I'm back to talk about Warhammer 40K. Now, as every wargamer, I'm sure I speak to the masses when I say we all have our pile of shame. It just comes with the hobby. Like, you get excited, you want to build your first army, you look at all the awesome kits, all the amazing capabilities that each model can possess on the battlefield, and you just go on a splurge and just buy way too much, way too quickly, and time after time it just builds, and then you don't have time to glue, you don't have time to paint, and your pile of shame just grows as GW puts out new kits and they envelop new codices, and certain models go off the wayside because they were good one edition, now they're not so good, and your pile of shame just grows and grows and grows. And especially with birthdays and the holidays and whatnot, you get boxes of kits that you may not want, and they just sit there collecting dust, and you have piles upon piles of sprues, and at the end of the day, it hurts to look at. So I decided to do what every wargamer has done once or twice and bust out the collection, both finished and unfinished, and kind of get the gears rolling to see what I have to do to make my pile of shame go away. So what you guys are seeing here is my entire collection of 40k stuff and a little bit of Age of Sigmar sprinkled in. So I've got some Space Marines, I've got some Night Haunts, I've got Chaos, and I've got my one true love, my first ever army, the Tao Empire. This isn't the original army that I had, because when I first started playing with the Tao, I bought everything myself. I painted and glued and assembled and converted everything. This army I found on eBay, and as you can see, the drones here, it was, I don't know, I had an idea, because I didn't want to play Fire Warriors, because I just don't like the sculpt, and I thought, well, you know what, I'll get some drones and I'll convert them to be stand-ins for Fire Warriors, Pathfinders, but I didn't have enough drones, as you can see here, so I got like one squad and then of Pathfinders and one squad of Fire Warriors, but I gotta play around with that. If you could see it here, I've got a new model for Shadow Sun. I was playing around because if you look at the other models, they're too clean in my opinion. The white's too vibrant, they don't look battle damaged at all, and I want them to look like they've been through hell. So I was playing around with Shadow Sun's sculpt, and I was doing like a spray of like a darker color, and I was going to go over it with a dry brush of white to see how that works. So that's why she's currently in this stage of incompleteness that she's been for about 6 months. Besides that, I don't know how to do the dry brushing effect to make them look weathered for the rest of the army, so that's why they are in that state. But for the most part, it looks good. I think I could say that since I'm not the one that actually did it. Like I said, most of the stuff that you see here has been bought on eBay, pre-built, pre-painted, so I don't have a pile of shame that's just overwhelming. Here we move on to the Chaos part. This is actually a model from, I believe it's Creature Caster, and I've used some bits and pieces from the Age of Sigmar lines to kind of make him look more intimidating. His head skull thing is actually a shoulder pad, and I've got some like ghostly stuff in there. I do want to convert this army to have more Night Haunt pieces, which you'll see in a little bit. I just don't know exactly how to incorporate them into it. Here we have my Plague Bearers that are a little bit more darker in color, like more suit, like they got like ash and stuff like that on them. This guy was actually sent to us by a viewer. Big ups to you, really awesome. He's supposed to be the Chaos version of my 11th Legion Primarch, so thank you for that. Really appreciate him. I use him as a stand-in for Abaddon. But as you can see, I really like it when things are converted from what they originally are. So I try to have a little bit of conversion in almost every model. Another thing you can see in the background there, next to the Leviathan, is I believe this one's from Kingdom Death, and it is like this Dragon Lord. It looked too badass to pass up, so I do, as you can see, one of his arms is missing. I want to add like a bone arm to that, and maybe add some like ghostly flair. I'm not to that stage yet, so as you can see, it just sits there, but it looks cool at least. In the middle, we have another conversion. Use him as a stand-in for a Lord Discordant, which, as you can see right here, I have another Lord of Discordant built, but unpainted, because I am not a good painter. I am not. That's why most of this stuff was commissioned out, or like I said, bought on eBay. But yeah, that's pretty much my Chaos portion of the armies I have. Moving on to the Night Haunt stuff, we did play Age of Sigmar for a little bit. I found this awesome army that was in a pretty good state of painting for only $200. So everything you see here from the Age of Sigmar Night Haunts was only $200, so it was quite the deal. But like I said, I'm trying to incorporate that into my Chaos army. I actually use them as troops or cultists, so that works out pretty well in my opinion. I'm gonna clip and cut these up apart to make it look like there's ghosts on the bases and have like ghostly flame and stuff like that. Because I really like how like the green pops with like the brass that I have in the other army. And then we move on to my labor of love. This is my 11th Legion Space Marines. Everything's white, gold, red. The two Catan that you see in the back. This army, the 11th Legion, the Celestial Sons, are essentially Catan hunters. And these are two Catans that they found and imprisoned and use for their own means of mayhem and destruction. If you guys want more lore, I do have a playlist for my 11th Legion, the Celestial Sons, so check it out. It's supposed to be a very Dreadnought heavy list, and the way I play them is they're essentially a mixture of Custodes and Grey Knights. So I've been collecting and amassing minis and reworking their stats around and whatnot. Here you can see some bases that I found at a hobby store already done up, and I'm planning on using those bases with, I don't know if you could see them yet, but I've got some Terminators that are unpainted. I'm going to use those bases for them, but again, I gotta get to that point. So yeah, I really like this army, and I have a little bit more to this army, but it is currently sitting in Gersh1's pile of shame, because he paints really good. Like, he's a good painter, even though he may not think it, and I told him if he could paint up the jet bikes for the Adeptus Custodes, and I gave him some of my Sanguinary Guard and a few regular Marines so that he has some frame of reference for the color scheme and whatnot. But all in all, this is what I've got so far. Not a lot when it comes to actually finishing up. Like, most of the stuff is at least built. Man, there's just a few things I have to change to make it feel like an actual completed project. So I think my pile of shame isn't as bad as others. But at the same time, it's something that I do want to get done. I do need to finish, and I think I'm content with the state of most of my armies. So with that being said, let me know how your states of pile of shame is. Is it too much to amass? Is it just a little bit? Do you think you'll get it done by the end of the year, or is it just going to sit there and take away bits of your soul? But anyway, that's all I got for today. This has been The Sound Alchemist, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.